Hi all. In this video I'll be covering about the Azure DevOps Server. So what all the things Azure DevOps Server provides, like project management, release management, testing, versioning with the help of GitHub and TFS. So what I have done here is I have just searched Azure DevOps and I'm just clicking on the first URL and it will take me to the Microsoft site. If you already have the account, you can just sign in, or if you don't, you can just register yourself and then it will take you to the Azure DevOps Server. Since I already have an account, I'll click on the sign in. I have this site already opened. So what first thing I have to do is I have to create a project. To do that, I'll click on new project. I'll just name it as a demo and I'll change the visibility to public. I have to click on advanced because I will be discussing in this video about the Team Foundation version control, and work item I'll keep it as a default, but these are the other options which are provided in the work item. So I'll click create and it will just create a demo project for us. Okay, so this is the project which has been created. So these are the default features which are provided, like overview, where we can just see the default things whenever this project loads. And board is a place where we will be doing the project management, like all the sprint related activities. You can follow like agile, kanban, the scrum, all these templates here. Repo is a place where we will just load our code, or you can say check in our code. Pipeline, it is a place where we will be doing the release management, like we will be just sending the code to the dev, QA, stage, production. And then we have the test plan. Test plan is a place where testing team, they will upload their test cases and later on which they will be using to validate any functionality about the application. Artifacts with respect to any organization, we can say, is a place where we will be storing our local NuGets. So there are many a times we can have our default functionality and we want to spread it across or use it in a different applications, so we'll create it always as a DLL and we can just put it in this location and then use it. So this is artifacts. Now let me go back to the repos, or let me go to the the Visual Studio. So I have this project which I have created, and it is a ASP.NET application in .NET Core. So first what I have to do is I will be uploading this code into the TFS location, the Azure DevOps location, I'll say. So to do that, first what I need to do, I have to click Team Explorer. I'll just click on connect. I'll click manage connection, connect to project, and it will show the default server on which I have the access. I have the access on this particular these two servers, but I'll be selecting the second one. And if you remember, we just created a project with the name demo in the server, and I'll just select and click on connect. It should map it should map my project to the one which I have created here, and so that I can check in my code. Now my project is mapped. I just need to check in. To do that, I need to add my solution to source control. Okay, so it is just asking me, and I'll just click on OK, and it will map my project, but this is not checked in as of now into the server. To do that, right click on the solution, click on check in, add the comment. So I'll keep the comment as adding the project first time, and let me click on check in. Okay, so it is just checking all my code into the server. So let me go back and let me just refresh this. Okay, bingo, the first step is done. Our project is checked in to the Azure DevOps server. Now our code is checked in, and let me run this application once so that we will do some changes and then we will check in those changes also. So I'm just running this application, and this is the default page which is loaded. Okay, so the page is coming up. Okay, demo, home, privacy, welcome, learn about, build web apps with ASP.NET Core. Good. So what I'll do here, I'll go to the pages, I'll open the layout and demo. I'll make it as a DevOps learning. Okay, so what does I'm doing here is I'm just modifying the one page, so that then I will check in the code whatever I have modified, so that it should be reflected on the Azure DevOps server. To do that, I just added some DevOps some comments here, and what I have to do next is I can click on the particular page where I have done my changes, or I can click on the project, or I can click on the solution, and then I can click on check-in, and it will show me the all the pages which I have modified. Right now only one page is there, and so that is coming here. So let me just add some comments. First change, and let me click on check-in. So a prompt comes and I just click on yes, and it will check in my change. So if you want to see like your changes are checked in, you can just go to this particular place. Let me refresh it once, and pages, shared pages, layout, CSS, HTML. Okay, so demo DevOps learning. So whatever the change we have done is checked in into the Azure DevOps server. Good. So what next I'll do here is, let me so most of the time what happens is we are not the one who are just working on a one project. So there are other members also, and they also check in their code. And what happen is we should take the latest, and so that there are minimal chances we'll come into the situation where there will be any conflicts occur. So for example, let me do one thing here. Let me just edit a code, and I'll just revert it as demo DevOps learning. Instead of that, I'll just make it as a learning. I'll check in, I'll just keep it as default. Okay, so right now we don't have any other user, so I'm just doing it from the URL directly. And now if you see here in the layout, we still have demo DevOps learning, but what I'm going to do, I'll just click on solution, I'll click get latest. So whatever the changes are there which are loaded by other users, other developers into the server, I am taking their changes into my own local machine. So if you see here, after taking the latest, this code is updated with the learning. So with the latest, I have now latest code. Good. So we are good with the latest. Now next thing which we will check here is how to check if there are any pending changes, or how to compare the changes which you have done with already existing code. To do that, what I'll do here is, let me go and let me change here is, let me again make it as a demo learning DevOps. Okay, what I'll do, I'll go and change some other places also. Error, title as error in the application. Okay, let me do one more change. Privacy, users page privacy, we are good with privacy. Okay, so I have done 3 changes. Now how I can check what all the changes? Let me click on check-in, and it will ask if anything is not saved. So we can see the changes or the modification which we have done at this particular location. And if you want to compare your changes with the code which was already present earlier, so to do that, what we have to do, we can right click, we have to compare with the latest. This is a place also we call it as a code difference, so that we will be just comparing the difference or the changes between the previous and the latest version. So if you see here, this is the highlighted line, and it tells okay, so you are modified this particular text here, and earlier it was learning. Okay, and same goes if we have the other options, or if we have other pages, and we can go and we can just compare it by right clicking and then click on compare with the latest version, and it will show the place where I have done the modification. Good. So we are good with the how to compare the changes which I have done and which was there before I have done any modification. Now same way I can just add my comments, adding the second change, and I can just check in my all the changes into the server. Good. Now we are good with the check-in. Now what happens is, many a times there comes a scenario where 2 persons will modify the code which are at the same place. So for example, let me first go to this URL and let me refresh it once. And if you see here right now in the layout CSHTML page, this text is demo learning DevOps. And let me go to the same page, demo learning DevOps. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to modify this particular change, and let me say testing 1 2 3, and I'll check in. Okay, so this is right directly on the server, so we are good here. Now I'm going to do the same change here. Now what I will be doing, I'll just modify and I'll just say as no development going on. I'll click save. Now I will just try to check in my code from this particular file. I'll right click on this file and I'll go to compare with the latest. Now if you see, there is another option also, which is a compare with the workspace. So what does workspace mean is, what was the version or what are the changes, what was the code before you have done any change. And what does compare with the latest is, compare with the version which is there in the server. So let's just first go and check what is the compare with the workspace mean is. Okay, so right now I have development, I have the text here is development going on, and earlier it was demo learning DevOps. Now let me just close this and let me go back to the file in the Team Explorer, and now I'll click on compare with the latest version. So I clicked on compare with the latest version, and if you see here, this is a change which we have done in that server, Azure DevOps server, which is like testing 1 2 3, and same is reflecting here. And other thing is development going on, the change which we have done. So there are different ways how we can compare if there are chances of conflict, but this is just a one file so that we easily remember. But in the scenario where there are tens, 20 or 30, 40, hundreds of files, it's very difficult. You will not remember all those changes. So for now what I will do, I'll just try to check in and then I'll see what happens is new change. I'll just add a comment. What it will do, it will throw an error, or in the form of an exceptions, it will ask us to resolve a conflict has occurred, resolve the conflict. A new window it will open, and what this window tells is, okay, so there are certain conflicts, you just have to resolve them, and these are the options which are provided here. So the options are auto merge. Auto merge, mostly the server or the TFS, it will take care merge changes in the merge tool. So what does this mean is, we have to, it will open up this window and it will show us what is available on the server and what is available, or what is the change you have done. Compare it, select which you want to keep it. If you see, left side is the one which is on the server, right side is the one which is on my local machine, and it is showing me both of the lines as highlighted one. Let me select the one which I have written, and below is the result of the selection. Once I have done that, so I can, if there is any other conflict, I can just click on next, but since I don't have any other, I'll just do accept merge. There are two other options which were also listed. There was take the server version or keep the local version. So if I click any of those buttons, if I click the server one, it won't open the conflict window where we have to compare two of the files. It will just take whatever is available on the server into my local. Or if I do the keep the local, it will just be ready with the whatever the change I have done on my local. But since I have just done the comparison, so there is this file is ready. Now whenever we are just done with the conflict comparison, or we have resolved all the conflicts, again we have to come in this particular location, which is the Team Explorer, and we can just go and we can add our comments and we can check in. Now it won't show us the same conflict. Okay, so we are good, our changes has been checked in. Now let me refresh and see, it should have development going on. Good. So we are good with how to resolve a conflict. So far we have learned is how we can check in, how we can resolve the conflict, and how we can create a project. And let us just see if in scenario we want to revert. So many a times we get into the situation where we have to, you know, change or revert it back whatever the modification we have done. So for example, I'm just writing it here, testing 1 2 3 4 5 6, and down the line I'll just realize, okay, so this change I don't want it, so I want to revert my change. How to do that? Go to the place where I have just done the modification, right click on the file, go to source control, undo pending changes. It will show you the file where you want to, you know, revert your changes. You can just right click or no, you can just click on undo changes, and it will ask you as in the confirmation yes, and your changes reverted back. So this is how we can revert if we don't want to push, or if we don't if we are not, you know, 100% sure with any of the change. So that is the revert. Another thing which I want to mention here is, many a times what happen is the solution explorer and the team explorer window automatically does not pop up or come here. How we can, or where we can find is, go to view, there is option of solution explorer. So all the files in the projects are listed and visible in this particular location. And same goes with the team explorer. So team explorer, go to view, click on team explorer, and this comes up. And now with the team explorer, what we can have is, we have the options to see the pending changes. And if you have you know, your this in the Azure DevOps, your board is ready and set up, you can just go and view your work items also. But since we don't have, so this is not coming. So what I'm going to do next is, I'm going to source control explorer. Okay, before that I have another thing which is very important. So you are working in a environment or a setup, so where the team structure is like, you have a team lead or 2-3 developers are working, and team lead always says, okay, before you do any check-in, just make sure I'll review your code. So how we can do that? So different code repositories have different ways, or different teams, they have different ways to handle this particular scenario. So I'll tell you one of the scenario which I generally used to do with my team is, so if they have any modification, so let me go and do first any modification. I'll do 1 2 3 here, and I'll just click on save. Shelve your changes. Now what does shelve mean is, you are loading your changes into the IO server, but those are not checked in. So those are intermediate changes, but which is not checked in into your DevOps server, and anyone can take your shelve changes into their local, and then can review it and can work on it, and then they have to check in. Until unless somebody checked in the changes, it is not it will not be uploaded to the Azure DevOps. So okay, I am going to I have right clicked on the layout file, and I'm click on shelve pending changes. I need to enter the comment shelve changes. Mostly it is a good idea if you give your ID or the name, so that it is easier, someone can understand. I'll click on shelve. Now with the shelve, so if you see, what I have done is, I have entered 1 2 3 here. Now I'll go and I'll just refresh here. I just want to ensure this is not loaded. Okay, this is not checked in, we are good now. But where it is visible, shelve set here, I already have added one change, which is 1 2 3, and all the shelves and all the changes are will appear here. So if you see, I already have one change which was earlier I have done, and this is the recent and the latest one. So the modification which we have done here is development going on, and the other one which we have done is 1 2 3. So this is a place where anyone can come and see the changes which are done, and your team lead can review it here and can provide his or her comments in this particular location. So we are good. So I'll just click comment, and it says it is active. I'll just keep it as resolved, so no need to worry about that. So this is the one of the way how anyone can review the code. Okay, so coming back to the Visual Studio, and let me go to the Team Explorer. So next what we will look into is history. I have done a lot of changes, and later on I realized this code, what was the changes my previous developer or before this release was present in the code, and how I can do that. I can click on any of the file, go to source control, click view history, and it will show me all the changes, all the previous version which was present there, and with the comments, and I can compare the two changes also. So what does that mean here is, let me click on this particular file, and the initial change, how I can do, I have to click control and click on the any other file, and then I'll to right click compare. It will show me all the changes which has been done. So if you see, right, it's a demo going on and the demo, so these are the changes which are there. And same way, if I want, I can do the with the first and the adding the second change, and let me compare. It will also show the same way what all the changes are there. This is with the history. And another thing is, if you just observe chain set. So chain set is basically whenever we do any code check-ins, it gives us one unique number, and that unique number we call it as a chain set. So a chain set will have all the modifications under that during one check-in. So if I have 10 or 20 modifications in my project, it will be grouped under one chain set. So I'll come to the chain set little later with the more information, but before that, so this is mostly with respect to history. We are good. And now let me go to Team Explorer. So let's just see what all the different options are there. Under Team Explorer, we have my work pending changes. Another is Source Control Explorer. So let me click on the Source Control Explorer. It will load all the projects which on which I have the access. And if you see, demo is the one where I have the access, and it is just showing me the location of the project and the path of this particular project where it is present. So see users and the location of the project. Okay, so we are good.
So the next thing which I want to discuss here is about the branch and how to create the branches. Let's say right click on the project. We are right now in the Solution Explorer or the Source Control Explorer, and go to branching and merging. Click on branch. It will ask you the source location and the target location, and I'll just name it as a production. Click OK, and it should it will ask me the folder under which I want to keep it. So let me just name it as Azure DevOps, or let me create a one folder here, demo. Okay, and let me just map it. So this is mapped and a new project is created. This project is as of now is not checked in, and I have to check in this project also. To do that, I have just right click on the project and I have selected the check-in pending changes, and this window comes up. And in this, if you see, all the changes are having in the bracket as a branch. So it means these are created while we created a branch. and I just need to add a comment. Branch is created. I'll click check in, yes, and all the changes are now checked in. And if I go back to the repo in the server, a new branch is there. Bingo. So we are good with the branch. So we have now two branches. One branch we will consider it is having the production code, and another branch where we are working in the for the new development. But this is something I'll say it depends upon the organization to organization. So each organization they have a different mechanism. They might you might realize they are keeping different branches for the different environments. So that is completely according to the project needs. But this is the concept is how we can create the branch. Okay, so we have now branches. Now what happens is next is we have something is ready and we want it to move to the production. So it means we have to merge our code. So first what I will do, I'll go to the demo and I have some changes. For example, let me see, let's say let me keep it as branch dev change. Okay, and let me do in another file view start HTML. Let's say I'll say branch dev view start HTML. Okay, that's okay. Now I'll check in my change. To do that I just add a comment. Learning merge. Click on check in, yes. Okay, now go to Team Explorer, click on home, click on source control explorer. Now we have some changes in my demo branch and I want to move it to the production one. Right click on the demo, go to branching and merging, click on merge. It will show source branch and the production branch. Now earlier I mentioned about the change set. Now there are two things. Whatever I have all the changes until now in my demo branch, I can move it to the production branch. Or if there are certain change set, so you have some modification which you have checked in your demo branch, few specific one, you can just move that. And if I click on selected change set, it will ask me, this is the change set which was not there in the production one, do you want to move that? But whenever you're working in your project, so you will see there are 20, 30 or many of the change sets under this particular location. Since we have just added one, so that's the reason one is coming. And so same thing, if I don't want to go with the change set, I can click and all the changes so far will be added or will be merged from the demo to the production one. So right now I'll just click on all changes. I'll click next. Yes, I want to keep as the latest. Perform the merge. Okay, finish. Okay, so we are ready and we are good and we have completed the merge. Now let me go to the production one and let me see the modification which I have done. So the modification which was there in that one, branch change dev in the layout HTML. Now I'll go to the Team Explorer demo pages. Now if you see, if I open this particular page, branch dev changes is merged to my production branch, and this is not checked in as of now. If I go to this particular site and if I just try and search layout.chtml, development going on is still there. This is not checked in. The merging is happening from the one solution in my local to the another solution of the local, but it is not checked in into the your DevOps server. To do that, what we have to do here is, let me go back. I have to check in this particular solution. You can check in the solution or you can check in the particular file. So for now I'm just going to check in everything. So right click on check in pending changes. Here those changes will be listed. So these are coming as in the brackets merge added. So these are the changes which we got as a part of the merge. I can go and I can add the changes. So one thing which I missed to mention here is, if sometimes you don't want some changes to be added or including whenever you want to check in, you can exclude the change. So for example, there are two files which are modified. I just want to keep layout. What I can do, I can right click on the view start file. I can click on exclude. So what it will do, it will move this file to the excluded changes. I don't want to check in my change. If I right now, if I go and if I check in adding the merge, only the change from the included one will be checked in, not the excluded one. Okay. Technical issues, underlying connection are closed. I think some issue. Let me check in again. Network error. Okay, good. So it has taken a moment, but it has checked it, and it has also, if you observe, it is also mentioning about the change set number. Okay, so we are good with the merge also. Okay, the last thing which I want to cover here is how to restrict the access of any project which we have in the Azure DevOps server. To do that, what I am in the server, I'll go to the project settings, and in this I'll go to the permissions. Under permissions, there are various options like how we can add different users by creating a group or as in the individual into these listed options. So the options which we have is build administrator, contributors, project administrator, valid users, readers, demo. Mostly we should give either the contributor access or the reader access. The admins, the project managers, they should keep the project administrator, build administrator access with themselves. All the developers, all the team members should not be part of all these groups. Only you should keep them in the contributors or the readers, so that we can the admin and the project managers will have the complete control over all the check-ins which the team is doing, and also with the access which each member of the team should have. So that's it, friend. This is with the Azure DevOps. Thank you.